Hello, it's Rob Ashbridge from Ashbridge Audio here, and in this video I'm going to go through some sounds that I've already prepared. So what I've done is I've done 4 experiments, each aiming for a different outcome and each layering sounds from the Ragnarok sample pack. So in the first one I've layered up hits with like tails, and then what I did was so that was this one. Let's drag that back. That was the first one, and then I did layering up drones and in such a way to create more width and more texture and something more interesting. Then what do we do here? This one was layering up risers to create something unique. And then this one here was taking booms and hits and reversing them to create a new riser. So I went through all this, spoke over it, intended to put it up online, finished it, and then realized that I'd forgotten to record the output of what was coming out of Logic. So it's going to be this. This going to be going up online. Maybe better for you because it's probably going to turn out to be a slightly shorter video. So I'll take you through the first ones here. We've got hits and sounds that have slower attacks and longer tails. Okay, and all together. So as you can hear, it creates a sound that's more detailed than any of them are on their own. So the first one, there's a bit of delay going on just on the original sample, but that's it. This sound is actually exporting this sound here and then took all the lows off it, sent it through a reverb, good old black hole, pitch shifted plus 2 semitones, put it through another reverb, and then put it through this Todeo reverb, which is a great convolution of a live recording space. So I included the long reverbs in combination with this, which is a shorter reverb, which gives it more body. That's just the original sample as it is. Same with that one, that's one of the booms. That's a growl, that's from the tails. And that's pitch shifted, so the original and then pitch shifted down. And then this one, we put a high pass on that one. So originally it was... And with the high pass... And all together again. So often I'm... when you're layering up sounds like this, you'll need to put a high pass on some of them so that they're not clashing. Because if you put too many of these sort of sounds together, the low end and the mids are going to end up clashing. You more often than not going to be doing some scooping out of the mids or some just complete chopping off of the low end. So here we've got a drone. Let's listen to this. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We've got a subtle, airy sound. Got like a low vocal sound. A very like mid resonant sound. And a very high resonant sound. And those two that I've just played, they're both very wide. Because the intention of this experiment was to make something that's wider than just one of these sounds on its own, as well as creating an original, unique sound. So let's look at this first one in a bit more detail. So this is one of the drones on its own without processing. And then we've taken out the lows. Pitch shifted just a little bit. It just fit in the mix a bit more. And then I added reverb, full mix, because I wanted it to take up more width, take up more space. So with this one, I was only interested in getting those low sounds. And the reason I put this big scoop in was because this sound is also fairly low, and it's actually occupying around 200 hertz. So I wanted to make space for that. I've also added this dip there, not dip, peak, to kind of accentuate the dip next to it. With this sound, I went crazy with the pitch shifting. What is it on its own? So this is the first sound I used in this experiment. And then these two sounds, that's where it comes from. So I bounced them out to audio, then bounced this one out to audio, and then pitch shifted it -12, and then again, and then again, and then again. Almost sounds a bit crushed. And then added distortion with the lovely decapitator, and then took out the lows because I wanted this vocal part to give all those sub frequencies. And then here, so I bounced this sound out, and then twice actually. Pan to the left, pan to the right. One of them is shifted slightly, and this is so that you're not going to get any phasing issues when they're panned, and it creates a really nice stereo width. I've also processed them a little bit, so -12 cents on that one. I think plus 6 cents on that one. Again, that adds to the stereo width. So all together, creates a very interesting full and wide drone. Okay, so we've got risers here. So let's listen to these on their own. So a short riser. Okay, so we've got 3 risers. So no processing on this one, although I have automated it. That's all I did with the automation on that one. This one again, second one, no processing, but I've just added a curve there. This one I've just added a bit of reverb, just so it's got a bit of a tail afterwards. And I think, yeah, I didn't do any automation for that one. So very simple, didn't do any processing, just combined 3 of the risers, like a variety of lengths. I guess this metallic one is contrasting with the other ones. It's a bit more tonal, so that's why it works well with the other ones. These ones are a bit more noisy, like white noise-ish, and this one's more metallic. So there you go. It's all about experimentation, creating. I mean, you can use these samples just straight off the box, but I think you'll make something even better if you layer them up, and you get something unique. So, I mean, often people say when you buy these libraries that you'll end up sounding the same as everyone else because they'll have the sample library as well, but That's only the case if you just use them straight out of the box. If you do just a little bit of experimenting, I mean, doing all these experiments took me about an hour. So just takes like 15 minutes to do one of these. I think this one took even less because I think it was like 10 minutes. That was a shorter one. So the last one, we took booms and hits and reversed them. Let's see if we can hear what we used. So we used this one. So that one I used the reverb and the delay and made it a stereo delay within the Ragnarok instrument. Again, I think we've got reverb on that one, but no delay. That one's a boom. Nothing on that one in terms of reverb. And nothing on that one either. Cool. And that gives us... Let's see, we'll go from that one, I think. That's the first one. So this one, it did add a bit of EQ, scooped out those mids without it. And then with the EQ. Because when you're layering sounds up like this, they're bound to clash a little bit. That's the boom. And then this one was that last one. And what I did was, when I bounced it out, after I bounced it out to audio, I stretched it. And then I've added Panman. And I've automated that. So the rate's going up as we go on. And the volume is also automated, as you can see. So that's adding a bit of interest to the width. Nice. And what I liked about this one, this is the boom reversed, was that it creates a nice rumble at the start of the riser. It doesn't do so much for it at the end, because the others take over with their intensity, but at the start it's a nice rumble, like without it. And then with, really adds a gravity to it. And then you could even combine these. So we could create a rise and hit. So we've got a hit here, and then the riser from the reversed booms and hits. May need a bit of tweaking, but it's pretty good. Okay, great. I hope you learned something from that. The key really is just experiment. Be creative with the sounds. Try to do something to them at least, to create something that's unique to you. Okay, thank you very much for listening and watching. See you later.